Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Welcome back to Flyperbole. It's 2026, first episode of the new year for the Flypaniacs. We are happy to be back. Quick shout out to our sponsor, FanDuel, for this fine program. But yeah, we are here. We're talking hockey. This is actually not the first time I've talked to Ryan Quigley about hockey in this new year, but it's just the first time it's been recorded. We went out and watched the Oilers game over at the Triangle Tavern in South Philly last weekend, and that was a great time.
That was wonderful, and it was so euphoric to see that specific game with some of the BSH peeps. Like, you were there, Kyle was there, obviously Joe DeMarini was there, so like it was cool to do all that together, you know what I mean?
And also there was a friend of BSH who was there at the bar, which was super cool. I forget his name, unfortunately. Shout out if you are listening. But this guy who had won a Travis Konecny jersey at one of our parties that we hosted with PHLY previously was there wearing the jersey at the bar. And it was so cool when he walked in, because I was like, I recognized him, and then I saw the jersey, and I'm like, I leaned over and I'm like, hey, did you win that jersey at a BSH event? And then he shook my hand and was like, "Oh, what's up?" And he hung out for the game too. So that was a very cool connection that happened there.
Yeah. It's crazy how like we don't realize how many like people kind of like, I guess, know Broad Street hockey. I've seen a lot of Broad Street hockey people around. Like, there's a lot. There's a good amount. And like it's at the point now where it's like, if you are a Flyers fan, which like I know in Philadelphia, you would think everyone's a Flyers fan, which like technically they are, but like not a lot of people actually watch the Flyers in Philly.
Right. A lot of people support the Flyers, but not a lot of people like actively watch the Flyers unless they're in the playoffs or something.
Right. And so like if I ever see someone walking down the street with like a Flyers shirt or something, I feel like there's like a better than not chance that they know about BSH. And so like, that's kind of cool. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That was a fun day. And it was just fun, dude. Like, that was maybe the best performance of the season for the Flyers. Like, it rocked. It was so good. They beat McDavid in Drysdale.
And McDavid's been hot. I don't know what his current point streak is, but I saw him on a list with like Crosby, himself, some other elite company for most points scored during a point streak. Like, he's got, I want to say like 40 points in 17 games or something like that. Just absolutely unreal.
Yeah, he's out of control. He needs to stop. Well, actually, no, he doesn't. He can do whatever he wants. He's in the Western Conference. But yeah, no, that was a great game. And, you know, Steve, that isn't the first game that we have watched together in the new year. That was the first game that we watched together, like literally together. We were, you know, within feet of each other. But then we also saw the Anaheim Ducks game together, the Cutter Gauthier game together. You were in one side of the arena and I was on another side of the arena. So technically we did watch that game together.
We did, or at least two periods of that game, which what a great time. Yeah, I was there with PHLY they had a suite takeover event where people bought tickets and got to hang out in the suite with Bill. Charlie was there pregame, but had to leave to go do his job. And then Kelly was supposed to be there, but Kelly couldn't make it because she had a day job emergency that she had to deal with. But Bill and I were able to go down for two periods and hang out, which was really cool. Met a lot of people that listen to the shows that I'm on. So shout out to everybody that came up and said hi. And just great to hang out with Flyers fans and just like soak it all in. But it's especially great to be there on such a big night for the franchise, because last year the Ducks game was huge, because the Ducks game was the first time Cutter Gauthier had ever appeared at the time Wells Fargo Center, now Xfinity Mobile Arena. But it was not a welcome for Cutter Gauthier that night. He did not have a good time. Mild Bill had a decidedly bad time. And this time it seemed like he might have gotten a little bit of comeuppance on the Flyers at first, but that quickly turned awry for old Cutter over there, because he scores the first goal of the game, power play goal. I'm sure that we had similar vibes, even though we were at different parts of the stadium, where, it felt a little deflating for a minute, especially when you realized that it was Gauthier that scored. But then the Flyers answer right back, and it's who else would it be except Trevor Zegras in his own revenge game?
Yeah, it was. I will say you're right. It was honestly beyond deflating when I realized that it was Cutter Gauthier who scored that first goal. Because the first thought that went to my mind, Steve, was, oh no, he's going to have like 4 goals tonight and just absolutely rub our faces in it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was afraid of. And then instead of that happening, Trevor Zegras completely flips the narrative. And he's just like, no, Cutter, this ain't your game. This is my fucking game, bitch. And then he goes ahead, scores 2 goals back to back. I can't remember how much time elapsed between the two, but like he scored 2 goals like very quickly. And then it quickly went from the Cutter Gauthier game to, just like you said, no, this is the Trevor Zegras revenge game. And that's exactly what it was. Like, Steve, how about that celebration? I think it was the second goal where he hangs up the phone. That rocked.
Then the way he came in and explained it later, saying that was as long as his trade phone call went with Pat Verbeek. That was just amazing. Oh man.
Yeah. Just awesome stuff. And like, I'm just
2 minutes apart, or 4 minutes apart between those two Zegras goals, 10:22 and 14:23. So almost exactly 4 minutes apart.
Yeah, dude, I'm just so happy for Trevor Zegras because, like, listen, man, like, he had a rough go of it the last couple of years in Anaheim. I'm glad he got the hell out of there. Glad he's back here with the seasons, the cold, winter, fall. Love that for him. But yeah, like, it was just great to see him have that game against that team, and then, even the interview after the game with Scott Hartnell on the bench, where he's just like, yeah, how'd you like the vibes out there? And he was just like, fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. It was just great. And it was just so much fun. Like the Cutter chants, and just the act, Noah Cates beating the shit out of a guy. That was awesome. Boy, what a rivalry the Flyers and Ducks randomly have going on.
Noah Cates beating up a dude was not something I had on my bingo card in that game. Absolutely not. And he had to, because Bobby Brink got blindsided, so he had to stick up for Bobby. So good on Catesy. That was a violent game, and unfortunately the Flyers seemed to be the one more negatively impacted out of it, losing Brink and Jamie Drysdale out of it. But I will say the Flyers really answered in kind throughout the game. Like, Garnet Hathaway was a wrecking ball out there, just devastating dudes with clean hits at that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Unlike the Ducks. Dude, the Ducks were literally headhunting. Like, someone took out Bobby Brink. He probably has a concussion. I would imagine he does. Sounds like Jamie Drysdale definitely has a concussion, because I'm pretty sure Rick Tocchet even said in that postgame presser, he was just like, he said the word concussion himself. So seems like that's what's going on. And what a dirty, shitty hit by I can't even remember the guy, Ross Johnston. What a horrible, like, you could even see on the replay, it's kind of hard to tell, but if you zoom in, you can see he's looking right at Jamie Drysdale. And then there was the other hit on, honestly, I think the dirtiest hit of the night was on a player who didn't get hurt. I think it was the Jacob Trouba hit on Denver Barkey. Like, he literally put his elbow out like that and nailed Denver Barkey in open ice. And it's just like, it was crazy. And then Radko Gudas, we know Radko. We know what he does. Like, honestly, I still kind of like Radko Gudas. I've always
I'd take him back.
But I would take him back so fast. But he was running around. He was absolutely running around, just doing, just being an asshole. And I remember he had one hit on Noah Cates where he kind of like knocked him down. And as he's going down, he like punched him in the back of the head. And it's just like, this is fucking crazy. He's
laying an elbow right there. He's throwing bows at Casey.
Yeah, it was just a crazy game. And the Flyers beat that ass on the scoreboard. And we played clean. They played dirty. And, listen, haters going to hate. I don't know what else to say. Like, fuck the Ducks right now. They're assholes.
Fuck the Ducks. They are complete assholes. It was a great game to be at. Great atmosphere. The fuck you Cutter chants were fantastic.
So good.
at the end of the game, Hathaway was like trying to grab his collar a little bit, trying to goad him in. Cutter, he's got dead eyes though. There's just nothing behind those eyes. There's just no soul there. So he was not responding to that. My favorite moment actually of pissing off Radko Gudas in that game was when Nikita Grabenkin beat him out to cancel out an icing. Because like, oh my God, like he had no business getting beat out for that icing, and Grabenkin blew him away.
Yeah. Grabenkin's fast, and like Gudas has never really been known as like a burner or anything like that. So
yeah, but you have to be. That's one of those like maybe you should retire, Radko, because if you're getting beat that bad, like Grabenkin is fast, but he's not that. Like if it was Owen Tippett doing it, I'd understand. But seeing Grabenkin do it was just like something else. It was so funny because he was furious about it too, and that's when he started doing some shit after that.
Right, Radko's older than I thought. He's 35 years old. That guy.
Oh, Methuselah.
He's an old man. So
he's an old man. But yeah, it was just a fun night. Like, even though again, the Flyers did have two pretty big injuries, pretty significant injuries. Overall great win. Great to yet again beat Cutter Gauthier. And I hope they can do it again. But I mean, it's
Ducks again. Let me find that out. Let me look that.
They're facing them in March because PHLY has a road trip that I don't think I'm going on during that period. I think it's like right around like St. Patty's Day. So there could be a nice contingent of Flyers fans out there to continue the FU Cutter. This is Flyperbole. I can say fuck you. This is the fuck you Cutter chance out on the West Coast would be outstanding. But yeah, Jamie Drysdale actually ended up on the injured reserve today. So that's a big loss for the Flyers. I feel like they're coming now off of a 2-1 overtime loss against the Toronto Maple Leafs, a game that I think we all agree they should have won. They outplayed them for the most part, and they really should have just put the dagger in and scored a second goal. Didn't do it. Scott Lawton gets his own little revenge. Scott Lawton ties it up on the penalty kill for his 7th point of the season. And I think Jamie Drysdale, I don't know. I feel like if Drysdale's in there, the Flyers maybe he's been pushing the puck so well. He's been moving the puck so well this year. Drysdale helps that offense.
How cool is it that we're now at a point where we can say, like pretty confidently, Jamie Drysdale's one of the best defensemen on the team.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember right when they first right when they first traded for him or acquired him in the Gauthier trade, he was not great. He wasn't. He was a problem on the blue line. And over the last couple of years, he's just made such huge strides. And now, honestly, he's one of the best defensemen on the team. He's very good. And not even like a lot of people assume that he's, this offensive guy, which like, I guess he is, but like what makes him so good is getting the puck and transitioning it up the ice. Like he's not going to be a huge point producer, but he's really, really good at generating the team in the right direction. A play driver, if you will. And so it's really cool that he's just become this legitimately good puck moving defenseman on the back end. And it's a huge bummer that he's not, I don't know how long he's going to be out. Hopefully it's not that long, because if he's gone for a while, that's a huge blow, a serious blow for this team, especially while they're in the midst of a playoff race. How crazy is that?
It is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And, it's a big downgrade going from Jamie Drysdale to Noah Juulsen, who now that Ristolainen's back, I think they've had a really good, consistent defense as far as the pairings go, because you've been rocking York and Sanheim together, which is, I think, a really solid first pairing. Mm-hmm. And then I've really been enjoying Emile Andre with Jamie Drysdale, like just a fun, exciting, providing a lot of puck movement and offense kind of pairing right there. And then you got the Bash Bros together with Nick Seeler and Rasmus Ristolainen. And that's just like so much fun. Like having those guys just kicking ass out there is a great time. Now, Risto, we have seen when he has to pick up when another guy gets hurt or something, or another guy's out, maybe slows down a little bit. He's still getting used to things out there. Overall, he's still been pretty good, though, a lot better than he was a couple of years back. But if Risto is going to have to be playing a little bit more, that's a concern. I think he was part of the reason that the Leafs scored in overtime in that last game. And That's a concern. Juleson in general is just kind of a slow hockey player. He's a good hitter. He seems like a smart enough player, but he's slow. And that's definitely a concern. And it's a huge speed drop off from Drysdale to Juleson.
Yeah. And then, let's talk about Brink here for a second. I mean, it's not like he's been as hot as he was to start off the year. I remember when he started the year, he was playing on a crazy level. And we were just like, oh my God, is this guy about to have like a 50-point season? Like, what's going on here? And he's cooled off since then, but still, that's a big loss too. Not having Bobby Brink in the lineup. He's a good, like, tenacious, more than I thought he would be. He's a good forechecker. He's great along the boards. He's skilled. He's a very creative offensive player. So it's going to be a bummer not having him also.
I love Bobby Brink. He's been having a solid year. He plays really well with Noah Cates. And yeah, I mean, missing him for however long that happens, because you also have another drop off, right? Where you're then instead looking at, so let me see what the current lines are. I didn't look at what they were recently, but, I mean, thankfully Carl Grundstrom's been great since the Flyers brought him on board, but looking right now, so your fourth line. Okay. So the good thing is Delorier still is not in line to get into the lineup, even with the current injuries, because Denver Barkey's been so good. And if Mishkov hadn't come back in that last game, then Delorier would have had to come in. It's nice to have a little bit of depth. But right now it's Grabenkin, Abels, and Hathaway on the fourth line, which is a pretty good fourth line. Grundstrom being able to play on the third line is nice, little bit of adaptability. But again, another player that I think the Flyers maybe win that Leafs game if they have Drysdale and Brink in, because that's just more consistency throughout the lineup, more offensive creativity from both those players, better puck movement in general.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the next, honestly, the next, I'll say weeks, because I'm just going to assume that neither Brink or Drysdale will be back immediately. I think the next several games are going to be really telling about what this Flyers team is. Because if they continue playing at this level without, Brink and Drysdale, then that's good. Like, that to me signifies that they are legit. They're not. This is not an illusion. This is not a mirage. They're actually a good hockey team. So I do think the next couple weeks are going to be pretty telling in terms of, is this the playoff team that they look like they are, or are they going to kind of cave now that they have all these injuries going on?
Well, they got some tough games ahead of them, because the next two are against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have been kind of up and down, but mostly up this season. So right now they are sitting in third in the Atlantic Division with 55 points, but that's with 42 games played, as opposed to Montreal and Detroit, who have 44 and 45 respectively. So, Tampa Bay, their biggest thing is Kucherov is having a resurgent season. Kucherov has just been unbelievable this year. I think he's the only player in the East, or at least he was like a week or two ago when the stat went up, of the top 15 scorers. He was the only one in the top 15 from the Eastern Conference. Kucherov, 61 points in 38 games played, 20 goals, 41 assists, and he's 32. Like, he's still doing it. He's just an unreal player. They have 2 games against them though, but both in Philadelphia. Weirdly, it's very weird to have a home and home where one team is home for both of them, but yeah, they're playing them Saturday the 10th and Monday the 12th. Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be definitely an interesting path ahead here, but what's fun, Steve, is I'm invested again. I actually like last season around this time, I stopped caring about the team. Like, I don't care if they won. I don't care if they lose. I actually preferred they lose so we could get a better draft pick. Like, this year, it's totally different. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's fun wanting your favorite team to win again.
It absolutely is. It is so much fun wanting them to win, wanting them to make the playoffs, not rooting for the tank. The tank sucks, right? Like, I understand the tank could be extremely beneficial, but it sucks. It sucks to root for your team to lose. And I'm so on board with the Philadelphia Flyers winning that, you know what? I'm going to put a few bucks down over on FanDuel on the Flyers winning the Metro. Now, do I think it's actually going to happen? I'm a little skeptical. I'm a little dubious, mostly because the Hurricanes are a really, really, really damn good hockey team. Yeah. But I'm saying there's a chance. I am saying there's a chance. And if you go over to FanDuel right now, the Flyers odds to win the Metropolitan Division are plus 1,400. That's pretty good. So head on over there. Oh, wow. Flyers currently sitting in third in the Metro. It is a dogfight, an absolute dogfight in this division. But they're sitting in third, 52 points in 42 games played. Pittsburgh has 51 and 42. Washington has 50 and 44. The Islanders have 53 and 44. The friggin' Islanders, are you kidding me? And then the Hurricanes have 57 and 44. So the Flyers have 2 games in hand, right? There is a real chance that they could make the playoffs. Hey, maybe they could win this division. I don't know. The East is really weird this year. And maybe something I might want to discuss later in the show. Maybe if Danny could pull a move or two, maybe we could have a really interesting roster. I will say, though, there's a chance. And listen, if you're doing a long-term bet, if you're doing something for the rest of the season, it might as well be something fun, right? Like I did the Eagles to win the Super Bowl a couple years ago. I got really good odds in the preseason. Guess what? They won the Super Bowl. Or last season. God, a couple of years ago. 1 year ago. And I won $300. It was beautiful.
Did you do it again this year?
I didn't, because the odds weren't that good.
Well, now they're not going to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I guess I'll go jam that home on FanDuel today. There you go.
There you go. You better hurry up.
I better hurry up.
You're the ticket, Steve.
There you go. Eagles to win the Super Bowl and Flyers to win the Metro. So, yeah, 1,400. Go over to our friends at FanDuel today to go check that out. But, of course, as always, wager responsibly. But, yeah, I mean, it's just fun to root for them to make the playoffs and do good things. And it's also cool to think about if they make the playoffs, will Tyson Forrester be back? Will Porter Martone play with the team if they make the playoffs? Like, there's so many fun wild cards.
Yeah, that would be cool if Porter Martone, like, you know, let's get into World Junior talk real fast. I know this is a little off the beaten path, but like now that Porter's been brought up, what a tournament he had. How cool is it that he led the tournament in goals? He had 9 points. Like he very much looked like, you know, a blue chip prospect. I think a lot of people were a little, you know, I saw some complaints about how he didn't look like an absolutely dominant player. Looked like a hell of a good player to me. So I can't wait for Porter to get up here and play with the Flyers. I would think that if the Flyers go to the playoffs, I would think he would be part of that. And honestly, like, you know, if that happens, should people expect Porter Martone to join the team and immediately become like this godsend of a player and like be a point per game guy? No, they shouldn't. That's unrealistic. If the Flyers do that, that's for Porter Martone's development. That's not for the team's success. That's to get him in there and be like, all right, dude, like in a weird way, when teams do that, sometimes I wonder, like, are they doing this because they think that this player will actually help the team? In some cases, the answer to that is yes. If it's like a rare situation like Cale Makar. But in this situation, I do feel like it would just be like, you know what? Let's get him up here. Let's get his sea legs ready. You know, let's just get him in some action. And then what happens. I think the Flyers are pretty cognizant. They're probably not going to win the Stanley Cup this year. But if you go to the playoffs, why not get Porter Martone involved? I think that would be great for the team and everyone in general.
Oh, everyone in general, because that's one of the things about this Flyers team, even though there's a mix of vets and younger guys, not a lot of these guys have playoff experience. You know, does Trevor Zegras even have playoff experience? Because
no.
Yeah, he's been on some lousy Ducks teams. Owen Tippett, maybe some limited stuff with the Panthers, but not really like he was not a player that was featured in that lineup. Travis Konecny obviously has a little bit, but just a little bit. Same with Sanheim. Yeah, barely. Exactly. Sanheim, Couturier, I think Couturier has the most by far.
He has sufficient playoff experience. Yeah.
Rasmus Ristolainen famously does not have playoff experience because we always talk about playoff Risto.
I mean, I know there's like chatter right now about Ristolainen like maybe getting traded at some point. I don't know how true that is, but like it really would be a bummer for the Flyers to trade him and then he goes to a team that goes to the playoffs, and he's like a god, like playoff Risto. It's kind of like Steve, I know you weren't into Pokemon, but it's kind of like the chasing the red Gyarados. It's just like, oh my god, like it's like this mythical thing, and to finally experience it and see it, like I want it to be on the. If Ristolainen is going to go to the playoffs, I want it to be with the Flyers. Honestly,
sure,
I wanted to, just because I want to see it. There's all this talk, all this pomp and circumstance about playoff Risto. Let me see it. And if it's cool, I want it to happen with the Flyers. I don't want him to go to Detroit and then make the playoffs, and then all of a sudden he's a god in the playoffs. And because you know what's going to happen, Steve? People will be up in arms. They're going to be freaking out about Danny Briere and how bad a GM he is. And then it's just going to start a war. And I'm just not – I don't have time for wars, Steve. I don't
have time for wars. I have absolutely – to put this in romantic comedy terms, right? It's like a woman who sees a man and goes, I can fix him, right? And do all that rehabilitation work. You make him into a proper adult man, unlike us, of course. We're not proper adult men. But you make him into this proper, I'm a businessman. I'm a responsible guy who fixes my house, blah, blah, blah. And then he leaves her for another woman and then get married, and she's looking on jealously, right? But then she finds a goofball like us and finds out happiness was all in the eye of the beholder or some shit. Anyway, I just wrote a movie. But look, here's the thing. Like, you do all this work, right, to make this guy better. The Flyers have basically rebuilt Risto from the ground up. He is now Risto Cop. He is RoboCop. And he's just, if you trade him away and you see that success elsewhere, it's a little bitter. I mean, I would love to get like a first round pick and a prospect for him. That would be fantastic. But it also seems counterintuitive with the goal of this team right now, because it seems very much like this team is focused on the next step forward. One of the topics we'll be talking about in the second half of the show is the Christian Dvorak contract extension, because that is a move that the Flyers make because they want to see this team make the playoffs this year and the next few years. And this is a guy that they think can be really a big part of that because he's been playing very good center. He's had very good chemistry with Trevor Zegras. We'll talk about this soon. But, you know, when they first signed Dvorak, I looked at that contract and I said, that's a guy that could trade midseason like Sean Walker, get some, get like a pick and a prospect. I'm happy with that. And instead, it turns out to a guy they've committed to for a few years now. And my understanding is they didn't want to trade him. They wanted to keep him because this group wants to make the playoffs. This group wants to take a next step forward. And it feels a little bit counterproductive towards that goal to trade Ristolainen at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it does. And like, listen, I know there's a lot of chatter right now, but Danny Briere kind of he mentioned this the other day, how they haven't lost their vision. They haven't lost their way. They still want to stick to this rebuild, their plan that they have right now. Maybe that involves keeping Risto. Maybe that involves trading him. I'm not really expecting anything. Like, honestly, I'm expecting this to be, if anything, if I do have an expectation, I'm expecting a pretty quiet trade deadline. If they do trade Risto, like, listen, I won't be, I joke about, like, seeing him go to another team and then thrive in the playoffs. Like, but, if that does happen, it's not the end of the world, honestly. It really, really isn't.
No.
And so, but yeah, I'm not really expecting anything with Risto. I don't know if he gets traded. I don't know if he doesn't. But it's just, it's definitely an interesting talking point for sure. Obviously, like, that's what a lot of people are talking about right now.
There's a lot of interesting things. And real quick, before I kind of wanted to bounce back to the World Junior stuff, because that's really good stuff right there. We do have an injury update from Kevin Kurz of The Athletic as far as Brink and Drysdale. Per a team source, Bobby Brink and Jamie Drysdale are likely to miss the next few games. One potential return date for Brink is Wednesday at Buffalo on January 14th. We are recording this on the 9th. Jamie Drysdale could be longer. So Drysdale probably going to miss the next week of games, which really sucks. Travis Konecny also had an injury. I want to talk about Konecny today. His injury is not serious, but he will be a game time decision for the Saturday Tampa Bay game. So yeah, this is all big stuff for the Flyers, who are right in the thick of it right now. And these are guys, I mean, Konecny, I want to talk about him a lot in the second half of the show, but Konecny is having a nice year, and that's a big miss if he's out for a game or two. Drysdale's been a huge component of this. He's playing a lot each night. He's just been a reliable guy where he used to not really be. Yeah. And you can rely on his defense. He's third on the team in time on ice right now with 21-12 a night, which if you told us when like they first traded for him and he could not play defense to save his life, that he'd be doing 20 plus minutes a night, I would have said you're crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, like a couple of years ago, man, I thought they were going to have to trade him for like a late round pick or something. He did not look good. He looked really, really, really bad. And now he looks very good. It's just the same thing we were talking about earlier. It's just, I'm so happy to see that Jamie Drysdale is a functional, beyond functional NHL defenseman. And he's good. He's not even bad defensively before. Like before, you did not want him playing defense at all because he was miserable at it. Yeah. He's pretty good at it now. And I'm happy for him, but it's a huge bummer that they can be without him for a while. And I'm not surprised that it could be a bit longer for him because that injury was scary. Like they almost brought out a stretcher for him. Like,
oh, the stretcher was out. Didn't get on it.
It didn't get onto the ice really. It was kind of like sitting there and they're like, do we need this? Do we not?
It was on the ice. I remember it. It was on the ice. Like it was like there
next to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
they didn't put it down, but it was out there if they needed it. Yeah. And I mean, that's scary.
He didn't get stretchered off, I should say.
He did not get stretchered, but the stretcher was out there. And that visual alone was terrifying because we were because nobody saw it. The camera didn't even see it on the NBC Sports Philadelphia broadcast because
it was away from the puck.
Yeah.
It wasn't even near the play.
Well, because in the arena, we just saw that Drysdale was down and play stopped. And we were like, what the hell happened? And they didn't show a replay immediately. So I pulled up YouTube TV on my phone and I rewound it to see what happened. And all I saw was you see Drysdale go out into the upper left-hand corner of the screen. And then you see Ross Johnston tumble into the screen immediately. That dude got off the bench, made a beeline for Jamie Drysdale and made a reckless, just a ridiculous play. He didn't get suspended, but he did get a game misconduct. I think it feels like, at least to these Flyers fans, it was a pretty intentional play right there, but who's to say? We don't know what his intention was, but it seemed pretty dirty. And to see Drysdale out when he's having a really good year is a huge bummer.
Well, I can tell you right now, I think it's, what is it, March 18th against the Ducks in Anaheim, I believe is what it is. Don't be surprised when Nick Delorier dresses for that game because he will. He will be playing that game. He's going to fight Ross Johnston. That is absolutely going to happen because that was dirty as fuck. And I feel like they're going to need to have – honestly, that's a game where I'm just like, yep, put in Delorier. I don't care. Take out Grabankin. I don't care what you got to do. Put in Delorier. Let's see some fucking blood. That's what I want. But, it was just so dirty, Steve. That was so many dirty things going on that night. It was just a disgusting, disgusting showing from those dirty, dirty Ducks.
Those dirty Ducks right there. Let's quickly double back to the World Juniors, though. So Porter Martone, I love that he scored all the goals, right? Scored one of the prettiest goals, that side angle, not quite side angle, but like a bad angle on the net. He squeezes it between the goaltender and the post. Just awesome stuff. But one of my biggest things is the Flyers had not one, but two team captains in this tournament. Porter Martone was the captain for Team Canada, which is a team of killers, just absolute studs all over that team. And they decided that Martone should be their captain. And he was a huge jerk as captain of that team. Just a huge asshole.
Future Flyers captain.
Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. He was great. He's got a little, you know what, Steve? He's got a little jerk store in him. He does.
He might be when Travis Konecny eventually hands it up. I think the keys to the jerk store are going right to Porter Martone because he was mixing it up. Like we got some real grade A rats between Konecny, Martone, Mishkov's got it in them. Like they got that rat in them.
Yeah, Zegras is a rat too. So.
Oh, Zegras is totally a rat. I love him. I love it.
Give me more rats. Honestly, you know what? It's a dream scenario, Steve. Give me Brad Marchand in a Flyers uniform.
Oh my God.
I want that so bad.
I'd say he's too old, but he's having a pretty good year.
He's still good. It's weird. Like he's really good.
He's really good. But yeah, so Porter Martone was the captain of Canada. Jack Berglund was the captain of Sweden, and he captained them to a gold medal.
Gold medal. Yeah, so we have 2 medal-winning captains. So Jack Berglund and Porter Martone.
Jack Berglund, 10 points.
Also very good.
Tied for 5th in points with 10. 3 goals, 7 assists. That's impressive. And like, I know we don't have high expectations for Berglund, but like, I don't know. I like a lot of what I'm hearing. I like to hear he's progressing. I like to hear he's scoring points in big tournament. The World Juniors is a big tournament.
Yeah,
it is a big deal. And to see him be the captain, lead his team to victory, that's good shit right there. I love it. And I don't know. I would like to see Berglund in North America sooner rather than later to get some time with the Phantoms and then maybe see what he can do, because I know people are freaking out about this Dvorak deal for mucking up the center works, blah, blah, blah. The Flyers are going to have to make trades at some point anyway, right? And here's the thing. Center's going to be a problem no matter what. And Noah Cates can play anywhere in the friggin' lineup, okay? Sean Couturier can really only play center. Noah Cates can play anywhere. Christian Dvorak can play anywhere, okay? I'm not worried about making room for guys that come in and prove themselves. All right. I would love to see an opportunity for Jack Berglund to come in and prove himself. And if he's a big boy, if he can work his way, even as like a 3rd line center, I'll be super happy.
Oh yeah. Thrilled. And again, just to kind of go back to the captain thing, I love that, just the fact that the Flyers have 2 of their really top prospects. I know people aren't really huge on Jack Berglund, but like, he is one of the Flyers' better prospects. The fact that they have 2 players who were captains and they led both their teams to medals, one of which are gold. I just love that the Flyers have 2 like rabid, like mangy street dogs in their system. I love that. Because normally if you have prospects who wear the C, they got the work ethic. They have like that kind of stick-to-itiveness, I guess. You know what I mean? I think it has like that intangible factor. There's a place for that. I really do think there is. And so it's good that they have, 2 of their top prospects are leaders who are successful, like successful leaders. I don't know if Porter Martone wears a letter at Michigan State. I don't think he does, but like, he was also the captain for the Brampton Steelheads. So he has a long line of being a leader, and it's cool to see these young guys really kind of taking over that leadership role, so hopefully that carries over one day.
It's super cool to see it. And look, it's just nice to see these guys win too, because that was one of the things we always said with like Carter and Richards back in the day, right? Is like, these guys have won at every level, right?
Yeah.
And they were leaders, and that's encouraging stuff. So yeah, I love to see it. It's just a strong tournament for the Flyers because, Martone did that. Berglund did that. Heikki Rahonen, I always get his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he ended up having 3 goals, 6 assists. He was tied for 7th in total points. So another strong showing right there. And then our boy Jet didn't have the strongest showing. People I know are being very hard on Jet because he got a cup of coffee in the NHL and all that. Let's calm down. Okay. Let's lower. Number one, our expectations are already insane because we're talking about a guy drafted mid 1st round. Like, if he ends up being Scott Lawton, that's okay. Okay.
Dude, I know about this on an episode before. Because a lot of people there are even people in the BSH Slack who were saying like, oh yeah, like I could see Jet being like 2C or something. And it's just like, y'all gotta chill. Like this, it's not like this guy was drafted top 10. He wasn't. Like,
no.
I love his skating. He's got wonderful speed. It's awesome. One of the fastest guys I've ever seen. But he is lacking so much in terms of offensive awareness. And like, listen, I do think that he will be an NHL player. I do. I fear that people are going to get really, really upset as the siren goes by that there's people are going to be really upset and angry if he's not like a 2 seed.
They got to calm down. They got to calm down. Number one, he's 19. He's 19 years old. Let's relax a little bit, okay? Like, he's got a lot of developing to do still. Let's let him cook a little bit. This is a crock pot, okay? This is not like a flash fryer. This is a crock pot. This is a guy who's not – I am fine letting him cook for a couple of years. Another thing that Dvorak deal is good for is these guys have a little bit of time to develop. You don't have to rush anybody up because there's now not as much of a rush to have centers because you have 3 good centers. Gauthier is okay at this point. He's not who he used to be, but he's actually been pretty good with Barkey and Tippett. It's been a nice combo. Noah Cates, I mean, listen, I know plus minus is a garbage stat, but Noah Cates is currently a plus 16 on this team. Like, Noah Cates, we all know from the eye test and the fancy stats that Noah Cates is a very good defensive player. So Noah Cates can play center. He's not a perfect center, but he can do it, and he's good. Christian Dvorak's having a career year next to Trevor Zegras. Trevor Zegras having a career year next to Christian Dvorak. You can let Berglund, Jet Luchenko, Jack Nesbitt, you can let these guys cook a little bit and figure their shit out. And who's to say? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you take a look over in St. Louis at a smooth player down there named Robert Thomas, who the Athletic had on a trade block yesterday on their trade board.
The Blues are a dumpster fire.
So. They're a dumpster. I would love if you could go in. I'll tell you what, I would trade a bunch of guys for Robert Thomas because he's only 26. I can work with an $8.125 million cap hit. He signed through 2031, so that's not a rental either. That's the kind of move I'd love to, like a low-key, good center move. I would love to see Danny Briere make. So there's stuff like that you can do. There is no need to rush these guys. Also, again, if you want to use Jet in a deal, I'm perfectly okay with that because Jet was never going to be your 1C.
No.
He was probably never going to be your 2C, but there was maybe an opportunity just because he's got good hockey sense, very good defensive sense. But like, people just get so hyped up over these prospects sometimes. Like, get hyped up over Martone. Martone was number 6 pick, probably should have been number 3.
Yeah. Luchenko does not have the track record that Martone does.
No, Luchenko was a reach in the first place. Everybody was shocked by it.
People were upset when they drafted him, and then they talked themselves into thinking that he's going to be some sort of like important key player for the Flyers for a long time. I'm like, where did that come from?
He could be good. I think people saw him like have good hockey sense at his age and say, what can that develop into?
Right. Love that.
Let's let him develop. Like, he's 19. Like,
right now, I don't see it. Right now.
Sure.
But to your point, you're exactly right. He's 19 years old. Maybe in 1 or 2 years, we'll start seeing it. And we'll be like, oh, okay. All right, here he comes. You know what I mean? But now.
Get some time with the Phantoms. Like, develop. Like, I want to see him with the Phantoms next year and see what he can do. Yeah.
He'll be with them. Like,
I would love to see him and Berglund with the Phantoms next year. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, right now, I don't see it. And that doesn't mean that we won't ever see it, but right now I don't. So
it sounds like a lot of people at Broad Street Hockey felt that way too, because a lot of people were very closely watching the World Juniors. I was not, because I wasn't bending over backwards to find a pirate stream, or I don't get NHL TV on YouTube TV, which is insane that it's not there, and there's not like an independent option to buy NHL TV to watch this stuff.
I was gonna say exactly that. Like, the NFL has, like, what is it, NFL Plus, where if you get that, you can stream NFL Network like 24/7. Why is the NHL not doing that?
It's so
They're
stupid.
so stupid. What a dumb league. What a
the dumbest league.
It's so stupid.
Dumbest league by a mile. Drives me nuts. But let these guys cook a little bit. But there is a lot of exciting stuff to see. I'm most excited by having 2 captains that did well in the tournament.
Yeah, me too. I think that's important, honestly.
It is super important. Let's talk about this Christian Dvorak contract, because this has been the buzz all week. People getting very upset about this one as well. I popped into the Broad Street Hockey Slack when the night it was signed, and I think I missed like 130 messages, and it was one of those like, what's the old message, like the old meme where it's like, I ain't reading all that, happy for you or sad for you, whatever way.
I think people are overreacting.
Yeah. So real quick, the Christian Dvorak deal, 5 years, 5.15 million AAV. He's going to be 30 years old in February. He is having a career year. He's on a 53-point pace. Previous high was 38 points in 2019 to 2020 with Arizona. So he's having a great year. He's been fantastic with Trevor Zegras. A lot of people are upset about that because we haven't gotten to see Zegras truly at center. And it's tough because you do want to see him there, but Trevor Zegras is nearly at a point per game pace. Trevor Zegras is playing the best hockey of his career. Yeah. He is a leader on this team. He is the most exciting player on this team every night. And I think Danny Briere sees this and realizes like these guys work together and Christian Dvorak plays a strong two-way game. So I was advocating, I did a podcast with Jacob a few weeks ago where we talked about a possible extension, and I advocated for like a 2-3 year deal because I think it makes a lot of sense in the short term to have him here for what I was just saying, for letting Jet Luchenko and Jack Berglund and Jack Nesbitt, letting all those guys cook, letting all those guys like figure their stuff out because they need to develop properly. It's all young guys. And Dvorak's a really good stopgap guy. But I think people I don't know if they think this is an illusion, if they think that it's holding Zegras back or what, but people were upset about this extension.
Yeah. And I understand it because I will admit, I was a little bit at first when it came out, I was like, I'm not going to get mad about this. No way. And then I saw some of the terms and I was like, okay, it's a 5-year contract. That's a couple years longer than what I optimally wanted. I
wanted 3 years tops.
2-3 years. Honestly, the AAV is not bad. It really is not terrible at all. It's because if you look at the market right now and where it's trending, that is what a player of Dvorak's caliber just costs now. We saw Alexander Wenberg, who's a very similar player, get a similar contract. And I'm just not gonna I'm not gonna sit here and say that I love the contract because I don't. I don't love the contract. But
I don't think anybody loves it.
Is this Christian Dvorak contract going to be the thing that tanks the Flyers? If this is the thing that tanks the Flyers, let me tell you something, Steve. The Flyers have much bigger problems than the Christian Dvorak contract. Much bigger problems. This is not going to be what tanks it. It's going to be mismanagement, and that's what I think the root of the concern is. I feel like people are like, this is Danny Briere's first bad contract. Oh my God. And it's just like, dude, relax. Look at what he's managed to do. He's gotten Porter Martone. He went out, he got Matvei Michkov. He went out, he got Trevor Zegras for such unimportant things. He's, for the most part, if this is his first bad move, boy, he has a lot of catching up to do if he wants to rack up as many bad moves as he does good moves so far.
It's funny because I advocated that his first bad move was I think the Frost and Farabee trade because he got nothing for it. But I think he's been a little bit vindicated on that one because, number one, the team did need to move on from those guys. He absolutely did. But I'm looking at Morgan Frost's numbers right now. Morgan Frost has 20 points in 44 games for Calgary, 8 goals, 12 assists, just continuing to be Morgan Frost, right?
Yeah.
Farabee over in Calgary has 19 points, so almost identical, 10 goals, 9 assists, So while it was mildly annoying, those guys, they did need to move on and they're not that good. And the team continues to transform and it's a different team. They needed to change. And I think, people did overreact to this and continue to overreact to this, but I think there was a little bit of sticker shock, a little bit of again, that 2 years too long, I think really affected a lot of this. If it was 3 years, I think it would have been a lot more palatable. And I think the other thing that really rubbed people the wrong way was the no movement clause. And that's not great.
Now I will say the no movement clause in year 4 is a 5-team no movement clause. So that's really not insurmountable, really.
No.
And then in year
that
5,
means he just doesn't want to go to the bottom feeders, right?
Right. And then in year 5, there is no trade or movement clause. So there's really only no move clause for the years that the Flyers would want him to be on the team. And that's assuming he stays as this exact player for those 3 years. But yeah, like and here's another thing. Back to the AAV thing, because I think people are looking at this and saying, like, God, the Flyers love to just lock up these old guys long term, and they have no way out. And it's just like, okay, first things first. $5 million as an AAV is not what $5 million as an AAV was a few years ago. Like, $5 million is not that much anymore with the cap going up. And I know people are going to say, well, it's not going to be super high like tomorrow. And that's true. It's going to take years for it to rise to that level, but it is increasing every single year. Dvorak's cap hit is not changing. That is static. That is staying exactly where it is. Static? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, we got it.
It's staying right there. It's not moving. And so it's locked in. And, you know, the cap is continuing to rise. I just feel like people are really, really overreacting to this. Again, is it optimal? No, I don't think it's an optimal contract extension, but it's not. I don't think, truly, from the bottom of my heart, I don't think this is what's going to tank the Flyers. I really don't.
No, I don't think so at all. And I think it just shows that they are dedicated to making the playoffs for the next few years. Like, Keith Jones has come out and said that they want to make the playoffs again. And look, I think the other thing that really affected this was so many of the big name centers that might have been available this offseason got locked up already.
Yeah.
You know, if Jack Eichel was going to be out there, if Connor McDavid was going to be out there, I'd be like, hell no, I'm not signing Christian Dvorak. I'm taking a big swing. But none of those big swing guys are going to be available. Again, maybe you can work out Robert Thomas or something. I'm okay with that. And I think at some point, if they are able to move that Couturier contract, it becomes a lot more palatable, because the Couturier contract, I think, is more of a big problem than the Dvorak extension, because Dvorak's younger. Dvorak, I think, has played less hard years than Sean Couturier, who basically have been playing hard hockey minutes since he was 19 years old. And I don't know. I'm okay with it. I really like what Dvorak's brought. You know, we mentioned that Zegras is having a career year next to him. Zegras has been unbelievable. You know who's also been really good with them is Travis Konecny, who Konecny was having an okay year before he got put on that line. But Konecny has been with that line since December 3rd when Tyson Forrester got hurt. And since then, Travis Konecny has had 18 points in 17 games played, 9 goals, 9 assists. Biggest thing is his goal scoring has gone up. You know, from I think the midpoint of last season until that December 3rd point, Travis Konecny had not scored a lot of goals, and he had scored a lot of goals before that point. And we were kind of wondering what happened. I don't know really what was going on, but since he's joined that line, he's had, let's see. So he's had 9 goals in that period. Before joining that line, he had 5 goals. He had 20 points in 25 games, 5 goals, 15 assists, decent numbers. What's really helped the Flyers in that stretch is that added goal scoring punch, especially in a year where Matvei Michkov hasn't had the goal scoring touch. Having Travis Konecny have it and complement everybody on that line is really working out well.
It is. Yeah. There is something to be said about that chemistry. I really think that, you know, it's just nice, because I remember, you know, one of the things with Torts is that he would jumble the lines like every night. And it you know, people were surprised when guys weren't getting chemistry together, and then he kept the Brink Cates Forster line together, and then all of a sudden they developed chemistry and they were the best line. And it's just like, oh my God, wow, look how funny that is. You know, it's just like, I think there is something to be said about chemistry, and like, you know, if that's the line that works, that's the line that works. And, you know, people can be all up in arms and be like, it's Christian Dvorak. And it's like, okay, well, you know what? It's working. So why don't you shut up, and we'll see how it goes in the long run. Right now it's working. And
well, that's going to be the key for the Flyers to be successful with their current makeup, is getting competent center play to play with these outstanding wings. And Dvorak's giving you that. So like you're looking at your wings,
play
like
the face-off circle, like good defensively. Is he excellent offensively? No. But like he is doing his job for the most part. It's not like he makes plays. I see him making plays every night. And it's not like he's, a show, bringing fans out of their seats and stuff, but he's a good player. People are acting like he's awful.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Well,
yeah.
My biggest thing is if he lets Travis Konecny and Jamie Drysdale, be themselves, be more free offensively, that's huge for me. And I think that's the key with these wings for the next few years is that's why I'm okay if Berglund ends up being a pretty good NHL center, because if he's playing between Martone and Michkov and those guys are just making magic happen out there, then that's fine, because as long as they're free to be offensively creative, that's all that matters. So Konecny, one of the biggest things I saw that's happened since he's moved to that line is he's getting almost an extra shot a game out of it. He's moved from getting 2 shots a game to about 2.7 or something like that. So he's getting an extra shot each game. You're seeing him get more goals because of it. That's big. And again, you can't argue with the Trevor Zegras of it all. You can argue that, okay, maybe Zegras should get a shot at playing true center. I'm pretty sure at some point he's going to get that. But, with all the injuries that's happening, who the heck knows? But look, it's working right now. He's getting almost a point per game. He's just been a different player here than he was. And I think you're just fooling yourself. You don't think Christian Dvorak can help him with that.
Yeah. People just need to get a grip. They're totally losing their minds about this. And there are much bigger things to be worried about than this Christian Dvorak contract. I really don't think I'll say it again. It's not a great contract. It's not a bad contract. It's really not. I just think people are turning this into a much bigger narrative than it needs to be.
Yeah, this is Philly sports for you right here, right? Where just everything's the end of the world. We've been seeing it every week with the damn Philadelphia Eagles. It's just, everything is life or death. And it gets annoying after a while, especially when you talk about the team as much as we do. And look, I like Dvorak. I like this deal for the short term. Who knows how it plays out ultimately when he's 34, 35. But in the short term, I think it makes the team better. And the other thing is he's not blocking anybody, okay? Yeah. He's not blocking. I don't want Jet Luchenko playing with the big club unless he shows me something crazy in the next few months. I don't want him playing with the big club next year anyway. I think he needs a year in the AHL. Jack Berglund, I want to see him in the AHL, see what he can do before he comes up. Nesbitt's years away. And unless they really drop off in the second half of this year and win the draft lottery, I don't think they're going to get a chance to draft a top line center at the top of this draft, or I'm hoping not for the next few drafts, because they'll be a pretty good hockey team that's making the playoffs because of the guys they have put in place. I want the freaking playoffs. And I think the guys in the room need the playoffs. I think Danny Briere and Keith Jones know that, because if you're just in a losing atmosphere for years at a time, and it's been 5 years since Flyers made the playoffs, it's been way too damn long. It has been a while since they've made the damn playoffs. We're all sick and tired of it. We want to make the damn playoffs. We want this team to have winners again. And look, this year is we've said it before, this year's a real, we'll see what happens. The East is weak. There's a very real chance that the Flyers make the playoffs. We're going to see in the next few weeks because they have one of the toughest schedules for the remainder of the year. But to this point, Dan Vladar has stood tall when we've asked him to. Christian Dvorak has been rock solid. Trevor Zegras has been an absolute stud. This team is pretty good. All right. We're going to see just how good. It's a pretty good hockey team.
Yeah. Listen, again, like we were saying earlier, I'm excited. This is the first time I've been excited to watch the Flyers on a nightly basis in forever. I want them to win every game. I'm sad when they lose. That's how sports should be. That's how it should be. It's just nice that the world has shifted back into this. Everything is, I don't know. Everything makes sense again because the Flyers are good. The whole world.
At least everything. Well, a lot of the world doesn't make sense. A lot of the world. Yeah. In fact, you'd say it's pretty awful. But the Flyers, at least.
You're correct.
A lot of the sports world can feel okay right now because your Philadelphia Eagles. Hey, we at least for the next couple days get to say defending Super Bowl champions. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Go Birds. But defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. You've got the Flyers. I truly believe they are on the uptick. They are on the way
They
up.
are.
You got the Phillies doing whatever the hell Bryce Harper's doing with his recirculated blood. Who gives a shit? Kyle Schwarber's back. Let's hit some Schwar bombs. And then
Bobichet's coming on in. So,
and then the Sixers, they got VJ Edgecombe. They got Tyrese Maxey crushing it. Sixers got some good stuff in place. So you know what? We got some good stuff in sports land at least. And I truly believe the Flyers have a lot of the key elements to keep on moving on up. Porter Martone, though, like, just remind yourselves, like, people have been miserable. And, like, you have to remind yourself, Porter Martone is going to be playing on this team. And, like,
very soon.
I think next season he will be a Flyer. And we could see him in the playoffs. So, like, that is something to get excited for. I truly believe this is a sophomore slump and nothing more for Matvei Mishkov. Matvei Mishkov is a very good hockey player.
That's another thing. Matvei Mishkov is playing, let's be real, he's playing like shit. He's playing horribly. And still this team looks this good.
And he still gets his points. Like, he's not getting as many, but he's still, like, I think he's seventh, but he could move up if he, like, hits a streak into fourth.
How
easy.
The team will be when Mishkov takes that next step. Just think about it. Just think about it. Let it marinate in your brain. Just think about it for a little bit.
Because, like, I think you can figure out the center, but you could have a top six with Zegras, Martone, Forrester, Mishkov. And then that's not even including whatever the heck they're going to do with Tippett and Konecny.
Yeah.
You know, who are good hockey players. Tippett, obviously maddening every night. Konecny, look, I know people get pissed off at Konecny. Konechny's got 3 less points than Trevor Zegras right now. Okay. Yeah. Konechny's a good hockey player. Stop acting like he isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are some very good components on this team. In fact, let's talk. That's the top 9. And that's not even including Bobby Brink, who we really like. So there are good damn parts to see. Denver Barkey looks fantastic. And he's a little baby.
God, he is a little baby boy.
He's a little baby. He's got a little baby face.
He's like $150 max.
Like, between him and Tyson Forrester, there might be like 15 hairs on their faces.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, they're tiny little guys.
Little baby faces. And that's the other thing is, like, because you're building up so many good players, you then have a lot of capital to upgrade the team. Okay. So, like, just because, like, this is who they have today, this does not, again, we're talking what, a year and a half ago about Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee, not even. And they're gone and the team looks completely different without them. This team is going to continue to evolve. This is not what's the ultimate Pokemon form you'd want them to end up in here, Quigley?
Ultimate Pokemon form?
Yeah, don't Pokemon evolve right into
they do. Forms? Let's I was gonna say let's see. I'll just say let's get like a Blastoise out of this. Like,
there you go.
I would say Charizard, but that's such, like, Charizard's overrated. So I said
that's the only one. It's like I'm Captain America right now. I understood that reference about Charizard. That's the only one I know. But that's the thing. You want this team to evolve, right? And it's going to look in a different form by the time all this finishes.
Turn the Flyers into Garchomp. That's what we want.
There you go, Garchomp. I know what that is.
Garchomp is a fucking unit of a Pokemon.
I want a fucking unit of a hockey team. Let's go. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, this is not what the ultimate form of this team is going to look like. Okay. They are going to continue to draft guys. They are going to work and trade wingers. Like, they're going to sign guys. Things are going to be different. Okay. And yeah, Christian Dvorak might be here for a few years, but he's a good hockey player. And if he's an overpaid third, fourth liner, that's fine. That's fine. Because the cap's going up. They're going to figure it out. I like him today. I like him for the next couple of years. I like, most importantly, the way he plays with Trevor Zegras, because Trevor Zegras is a fucking star next to Christian Dvorak.
Give him a blank check. I don't care.
I'm hoping that's the next deal worked out right there.
If they can get him under 10 mil, give him anything under 10 mil.
I'm very happy with that because you've got a couple years. I mean, you've got another year to work out Mishkov, and if Mishkov's playing like this, you can't really go crazy, which I'm kind of okay with.
Yeah, honestly, like, this might drive his price down a little bit. So
yeah, I mean, look, I still think Mishkov's a stud, and he's going to get back there. I just think this is not the year. Yeah,
I'm not really concerned about it.
And Tyson Forster's a rock solid hockey. Like, there's just so many good points. Cheer up, guys. Cheer up.
Yeah. Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. People need to just relax.
Just relax. Also, if you're not enjoying the current success, like enjoy it. Okay. Like we get very few moments. I was just talking about how messed up the world is. Like enjoy your hockey team winning games. Okay. Because it's fun. It's fun to have the team actually win and enjoy the wins. So enjoy the wins. Okay. This team is a good hockey team. I don't know how good. I don't know where their ceiling is, but they're a good hockey team with a lot of good components. And I think they're just going to get better because I don't think they want to do those Sean Walker deals anymore. I think they're over that point. Okay. And yeah, they're never going to tank. They were never going to tank because they're the Philadelphia Flyers. It's just not what they do. Sam Hinkie ain't walking through that door. Okay. So if they're going to evolve, it's by trading what they have and continuing to draft and hopefully draft smart. That you can question, but whatever. Porter Martone's coming. Cheer up.
That I just keep telling myself that, whenever something bad's going on, I'm like, Porter Martone's a Flyer. I don't care.
I just, when I walked into the Slack, when everybody was hand ringing over Dvorak the other day, I just came in and I posted a picture from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back of Jay going in. It's like, look at these morose motherfuckers. Like, that's how I felt about everybody. It was like, everybody's losing their minds. And look, I love them all to bits. I respect their hockey opinions very much. Christian Dvorak, very good hockey player. I feel good about the short term of this deal, the long term to be debated, to be continued, but a lot's going to change in the next 5 years. A lot's going to change in the next year.
There's to be continued on every contract.
Yeah.
Every contract. I'm not getting into it.
Here's the thing. We were all wrong on Dvorak and Vladar when they signed him in the offseason.
Yeah. Okay? And you know what? Remember when we were all mad about Travis Sanheim's contract? No one's really mad about that now, are they?
Olympian Travis Sanheim. Travis Sanheim plays how many minutes a night? God, he plays 24 minutes a night, Travis Sanheim. So mad about that. And now he's a rock solid defenseman.
And his AAV isn't even that bad. People react so strongly to the contract when it happens. And sometimes there are contracts that are just awful. Like the Nick Deslauriers contract, that was never going to be good, ever.
No.
But people are freaking, just like I said it earlier, people are talking about Christian Dvorak like he's some fourth line guy. And it's like, right now he's not. He's playing great. And he may not have ever broken the 40-point threshold in his career, but you know what? It's not like offense is the only thing that he does. He's a good defensive player too. And he's good in the locker room. He's literally one of the, apparently he does really, really well in the locker room and all the guys love him. So.
And they've signed a lot of those locker room guys. They have a very strong locker room right now. It seems like they have a very good group. So the vibes are immaculate. I hope your vibes are immaculate. Just relax, try to enjoy the team. Take an edible. Yeah. Well, I can't endorse such activities on such a program, but perhaps to phrase it as a chill pill of some sort.
Or that. Yeah.
Yes. A pill, some sort of, take something that makes you chill out a little bit. Chill out. That's where we'll leave that at. But I could talk for another 40 minutes. This could easily turn into an old flight, but we simply do not have the time. But hopefully we'll be back sooner rather than later to be having some Ryan Quigley, Steve Jaco hockey talk right here. But folks, oh wow, how about that? We haven't got any wows in there. There's been no time. It's been nonstop hockey talk. I had something that I wanted to discuss with you this week that would have been hilarious that we're gonna have to push off until next time because there's just simply no time. But it's a good problem to have.
Cliffhangers. Love a good cliffhanger.
Love a good cliffhanger and love some tangy tent. All right, folks, we are going to head out of here. Thank you so much for listening. We truly love and appreciate you all. Quickly, if people want to reach on the socials, where can they find ya?
Oh, wow. You can find me at Ryan Quigs with a Z. Thanks.
You can find me over on Blue Sky at Flyperbole or Esteban if it's for hockey purposes. Make it Flyperbole. It's Flyperbole on Instagram and TikTok as well. Probably a little bit more active on the Instagram than the TikTok because I'm old. So that's all there is. Follow Broad Street Hockey. You can also catch me over at PHLY for post games quite frequently. All right. We are headed out of here. Thank you so much for listening, folks. And until next time, in the words of the great Gene Hart, good night and good hockey.